Okay.
Hi, Arturo.
Hi, how's it going?
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
So it's been about 2 weeks since I've seen you.
Yeah, about.
Yeah, I think exactly 2 weeks. How has this last week been?
Pretty crazy, just overall hectic for me. I have so much going on in school, like all these quizzes and tests, assignments I have to turn into, and at home, still kinda,
crazy.
Yeah, still kind of crazy.
So I know it's been 2 weeks, so flashback like to last week. How was that week?
That was pretty rough for me too. My parents have been, you know how last time I told you that they were like bad mouthing each other, on me, and so that never really improved. So I had to like sit them both down and tell them how that was just mentally draining me and affecting me straight up. And so I hope they got the picture because nothing has happened since.
They kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
So did they just like, they were persistent about it, and did you sit them down at the same time, or did you set them down?
Yes, I arranged for them to be together, and they didn't say much. Like they kind of just said sorry, and then they just kind of kept quiet. But I haven't heard.
And since then, it's been fine. So, do you think if it picks up again, how do you think that you would handle that?
Gosh, I think it's like taking another step back.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
good now. You're in a good place right now.
Exactly. And so if I were to hear it now, I don't know, it's like setting me back.
Yeah. Has then quitting the bad mouthing, has that taken any stress off, or is it just like, it's better, but I mean, I'm still hectic and crazy?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's taken stress off?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you mentioned last time that you had a lack of motivation. How's that been?
Just I would say it's improved a little bit. I'm definitely not in the same position as I was a couple weeks ago, but it has helped me to just kind of. I started working out.
Okay.
And I've been able to relieve stress. I haven't worked out for about an hour, and I've been able to relieve stress while being there. And so it's just kind of like a moment throughout the day to just kind of like.
Your working out is like your me time.
Yeah, because like I'm forgetting about my assignments, I'm forgetting about the problems that are going on at home with the family, and it's good to get away from that.
So for the working out, what do you do? Do you go on walks? Do you go to the gym?
Yeah, so I go to the gym, and I just set up on the treadmill, like I walk uphill, try to sweat up a little bit, and then just kind of like do a lot of free weights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing more than an hour.
Okay. And do you do that right after school, in the mornings?
Usually after school, like towards like the evening, late evening, like 7, 8.
Well, that's an improvement, because I know like 2 weeks ago even you said that you had completely stopped working out because your motivation was just so low.
It was bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that.
And I'm not like fully motivated to go, but I'm just kind of forcing myself to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's still an improvement from where we were 2 weeks ago.
I'd say so.
Has the sleep improved?
A little bit. I'm not going to bed, in the middle, like at 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, definitely, but I've brought it down to like midnight.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of an improvement.
So I know before you had mentioned that it's like your brain can't turn off, but also a lot of it too is that you can focus on homework, and that you were like up until midnight or whatever doing homework. So we had mentioned maybe staying after school and getting the homework done before going home. Did you ever follow through with that? Or
so I was able to go to like there's a Starbucks really close by, and I would just go there, set up there, and that's where I would finish all my assignments.
So you've been getting your homework done before going home?
Exactly.
And have you seen an improvement in your
grades?
Have.
A slow improvement in my grades.
Yeah, it's only been 2 weeks.
Right. Hasn't, like, obviously, like, I'm aware that this isn't like an overnight thing, but I have been able to see just, I'm practicing better habits, essentially.
Okay.
I know the good grades will come later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a start. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but it is good to make those improvements and get in those habits, because healthy habits overall will make you feel better.
Exactly.
Okay. I know I recommended that divorce support group. Did you ever go to it?
Yes. I actually was able to meet a lot of fellow students who are also facing the same kind of thing at home. And for me, it was a pretty good experience to be able to connect with other people, like I said, going through the same thing.
I mean,
So
it's probably crazy that like you don't realize how many kids around you are going through the same thing you are. When you feel so alone, you're just like, I have nobody. And not to mention, it's cool to talk with people your own age. It's not like you're sitting there talking to someone who is 10 years older than you.
Yes, no, I get to share my experiences with people that are around my age, my age group, and then also I get to hear what's going on their end, and so it's been good.
So overall, like through in these last 2 weeks, I know it all sounds really positive. Do you think that how do I word this? Do you think that you're self-improving, or do you think that you're kind of still stagnant?
No, I do see that I'm improving, but it's definitely not at the level I wish it would be. You know? What
would you say, like in the midst of all this craziness, is still like your strengths? Like things that you are still proud of and that like you're still true to you?
Well, I would consider this a strength that like I've been able to, like earlier I mentioned that I'm like forcing myself to like do things like I push myself to say like after class I'll be like, I don't say I should go do homework at Starbucks. It's more like I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah.
And like I get rid of the I should.
Self accountability.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I'm gonna go do it, and instead of saying like, oh, I probably should go to the gym, it's like, no, I am gonna go to the gym.
Yeah.
So I'm just forcing myself. So that's a pretty good strength I have. Another one is that I show patience. I think that's a very natural quality of me to not expect results overnight. So I'm very aware that it's a slow process. And then another strength I can say about me is that I'm very open about my feelings, about just like overall like me.
Yeah.
And I'm very open. I'm like an open book when I meet people, when I want to connect with people. So that's like a strength right there.
So I know a couple weeks ago you kind of talked about how, as far as like with your friends, like you're kind of the person that's always there for them and always like able to listen.
Yeah.
Throughout this, do you feel like you still find yourself being lost and being the one that is constantly like listening to people, or have you been able to voice yourself?
I would say it has shifted a little bit because I joined that support group. And so like I just have people that are there to listen to me and kind of relate to it and give me some advice on their end. As far as like my inner circle of friends, it hasn't changed. You know, I'm always there for them, but yeah, for me,
haven't been as open with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember what you said. Do they know that your parents are going through divorce?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I don't give them much detail.
Okay.
But they do.
For the most part, that they're aware. Do you wish that could change? Do you wish that they would kind of maybe be there more for you?
Yeah.
I know you have the support group, but they're obviously your better friends at this point.
I think that'd be something that I would like to see.
To improve on.
Yeah.
So kind of back to the motivation thing, would you say through all of this craziness, do you feel depressed? Do you feel like...
You know what, I do.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, like when I go to the gym, I'm fine for that hour.
But once you go home,
once I'm
back.
home, it's like back, and you know, it's like slowly just draining me more.
Yeah. Do you feel, is it kind of like you're at school and you're fine, then you go to the coffee shop and you're fine, then you're at the gym and you're fine, and then you go home and it just tanks?
Yeah, it just tanks.
Yeah. Well, do you think it would be helpful if you were recommended to someone maybe at like Bert Nash to talk to, more on like a therapeutic level to maybe help with the depression? Or do you think that just visiting every 2 weeks is something that you want to stick with for right now?
At this point, I'm really open to anything. It's just based off whatever you think whatever you can recommend.
Okay.
I'm pretty open to it.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a ton of resources at Bert Nash. Therapists, social workers, tons of resources.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're open to it, I definitely recommend going to Bert Nash, checking out what they have and their resources, maybe talking to someone, because if you do feel those depressive thoughts, I mean, that is something that it would be helpful to talk to on a more personal level.
Perfect.
But I
I'll-
definitely
I'll get home and I'll look into it.
okay.
Yeah.
If you need anything too, I can always help out.
For sure.
So did you want to keep coming every 2 weeks then?
I'd say so.
For
I'd
now,
say so.
at least.
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Awesome. Well, do you have anything else?
No, I think everything was covered.
So, as far as goals, let's just touch on it really quick. As far as goals, what goals do you want to have maybe in the next 2 weeks? Is there anything that you're still just like, I wish I was, maybe being a little more?
I just I guess I want to be more involved with any extracurricular activity here at school.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe join some sort of club.
Okay.
Not really sure.
Yeah.
Anything from a psychology club or a chess club, so something fun.
Yeah, something fun and not
Yeah.
stressful at all.
Exactly. And then maybe just see myself be a little bit more thankful and just happy that I am alive and I'm making it
Mm-hmm.
and pushing through and probably not just looking at all the negatives.
Stop and look at some of the positives
So,
that you
yeah.
haven't seen in a while.
Exactly.
All right, well, I say let's work on that, and then in 2 weeks we'll check up.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.